Hello, welcome back. This is part 2 to my other video about Stormhawks, the lost MMO game. Go watch it to get caught up, but if you don't want to, here's the story explained in Fortnite terms for your benefit. So I wanted to go and play duos with Aero on the battle bus, but I couldn't find his epic account IDs, and so I spent the whole video looking for it, till I found a post by Master Cyclonus on the Furry website.
This fandom has really lost itself.
But when I sent a friend request, it turned out he was perma-banned, so no duos for me. Now we've got that out the way, let's see what happened. First, we got to look at the Stormhawks, the Farside Discord server. A small server for fans run by the same people who also got the re-uploads for the whole series on YouTube, because man, how the hell else am I going to watch this series? But this is where it begins, where I begin. Our new challenger enters the ring, Shad PW, I'm calling them Shadow. They had imported the skimmer into Unreal Engine 4, and by the looks of it had been ripping and putting other files like this into the game for a while. It was all going well, and then not before long, a new challenger entered the ring, meowsandstuff. They found the necessary source code to export models from the client and boot into the login menu. Then they decompiled Python, this is big shit by the way, and then Shadow and Meow started working together when they found this. Code for offline play. Dun dun dun. I'm not getting out of my duvet again because that took too long. But at the same time, the two were working on ripping the game and putting it into another engine, and the Shadow ripped the entirety of the map of the game and put it into Blender. What the fuck? This was big shit, obviously, and very impressive. A huge leap forward to the game. It seemed that direction was changed from restoring the original version of the client and instead porting it to a newer modern engine. The process was going well. Even new people were getting interested into the project with the amount of buzz, and my video was helping drag them in. Although nothing is perfect forever, after so much improvements, there was bound to be some sort of stunt to progress, and that came with, well, progress. The game had been gone from that of an urban legend to a reality to walk around in, but getting towards the playable state would take some time. With a lot of people working on it being dragged away to other matters, the future of this project was left in the air. Dealing with 2006 spaghetti code was far from helpful either, with even a discussion of changing to making a new game completely after all the models were ripped, but it was the game engine itself that proved to be a pain. Shadow pushed on himself, getting a motorbike in the game engine that worked, started animating it into a skimmer, working around more on the map. I mean, look at this, the game was playable pretty much. Well, it's more than we had months ago. Work was going well, even finding stuff like crystal in the meshes with textures. The original game was finally making some more steps towards an offline mode, and Shadow was working on adding more features with the main menu and more present. Shadow keep going with even more, with sound effects, customizable menus, character customization. The progress was amazing, but nothing lasts forever. Halfway into the year, Shadow came out and said that the project was going on hold. Not cancelled, but it would take some time before any more progress would be made. Luckily for you and me, this was in 2023, so we got hindsight. We got OG player models, we got Aero, albeit a bit cross-eyed, we got man-made horrors beyond our comprehension. That was also where it ended. However, thanks to Shadows and Meows, there was huge progress to the game, even if this was where it ended. At the end of the day, this is really where the story ended. The offline version of the game works. To play it, you download the game, links in description, then navigate to where you installed it. If you didn't change the root install, it should be in Programs Files x86/Stormhawk Skyrace. Then go to dev/res/entities/client and delete bwpersonality.pyc. Drag and drop the bwpersonality.pc links below into the file. This should change the game from looking for a server to running into offline mode. Once you've done this, go back to dev/res and drop offline.txt. I've included 3 versions in the file. One should place you in Tent Town and the other should place you on a racetrack. Then go back to dev/game sho.exe is the file we need. Click that to boot into the game, and if you've done it right, then you'll load into the character creator immediately. Afterwards, I also managed to talk to some of the people involved in the project to follow up what was happening. First of all, Shadow.
Okay, so the state of the remake I was building stopped about a month prior to Detox arriving in the server. This is mostly due to time/interest in the project, but also because I just couldn't get enough assets to make it workable beyond what it already was. Thanks to Detox's Pi file we gained access to all the basic levels, which does make ripping more files possible, so there is a chance later on down the track I could pick the project up again.
Second was meowsandstuff.
What was your motivation to work on decompiling the game with the others?
I used to play Skyrace before it closed. Once I had learned that the original game files were still lurking online, I found them and went to work trying to extract files and such.
Is there a reason you stopped?
I got stuck trying to figure out the Python stuff. Couldn't force the game into offline mode. Around that time was getting busy w/IRL stuff, so just wasn't around to help anymore.
Even though meowsandstuff was only present at the beginning of the project, it's still amazing what he did and helped to data mine and make efforts to the game. I've got a link to their YouTube channel down below for anyone interested in looking at more of his work. And last of all, the mad lad himself, Detox, who joined the server and cracked the code open in one day. What was his reasoning? Well, as it turns out, Detox was a fan of Stormhawks for a while. Said himself he wanted to play the MMO, but also had a background in IT. And would you believe it if I said that my video was what inspired him? Yeah, really, my YouTube video got them back into it, looking into the game. He later said he was going to comment on the video, but never posted it. Like always, I'm always happy for any support. I do read every comment and I appreciate them all. So what about this game? Is the game any good? Well, yes. After booting into the game and making a character, there's 3 maps you can access. The tent town, a small track, and a cave map as well. The tent town doesn't really have anything to do. You can explore, see a bunch of wallops, a few chickens, but that's all. Of course, the tent town itself is missing tons of features without the main server, but it's interesting to walk around, or be like me and accidentally get yourself into a hole I didn't know existed and fall out of the map. Then there's the actual racing tracks. I loaded into the cave map and decided to go around it 3 times, starting at the last wooden beam. I got onto my bike and went around the track 3 times. The bike is really drifty and strange to control, and the floor likes to absorb you half the time, but when it works, it feels absolutely amazing.
Fumo Romilia here. By the time I got here in the script, I was basically having a stroke and everything went into gibberish, so I'll be finishing the video off. My timing was 3 minutes 37.94 seconds, although I suck with live split, so it could be longer or shorter, I don't know. If anyone watching wants to try it out and get a better score, it could make the game more interesting, and I know I've got time to beat. I'm hardly optimizing this run. For final words, I suppose this story had a good ending in the end. The game came back, albeit not completely, but it went from a failed mission to a playable build, which hopefully has a future in the races. Once again, I'd like to say thank you to Shadow, meowsandstuff, and Detox for all their contributions, and we absolutely wouldn't be where we are now without them. Subscribe or I'll break your kneecaps.